What's up, friend? Welcome back to another video. Today is a great day. It is Saturday. Oh, I got something in my face. Lord Jesus. It is Saturday, so I am going to hit something a little bit weird. I'm not going to hit my traditional workout, but this is my 5th day out of the week. So, and I've hit every muscle group except chest and legs twice. So if you haven't already, make sure that you grab our BCAA shock powder. This is really going to amp up your workout and give you more endurance throughout your workout. Make sure if you haven't, like and subscribe. If you like to see more of this content, right? Just comment below and all that good stuff and what muscle group you want to see me train, what type of workout tips or secrets or nutritional tips and secrets that you want me to talk about in our next video. All right. Anyway, back to the video. Alright, so I typically go into the gym for about an hour or so. I'm really going in, get right out, all about business. So when my son was born, which is a few months prior to the time I'm actually hitting the gym, which is in 2025, I put on a lot of body fat, man. I was tired, fatigued, all that whatnot. So now I'm working on getting my body fat back down to about 12% body fat. At this point, I was roughly about 28, 27. So I had a dad bod, so it was time to get rid of that. So the weight's really light. Also, so I keep it light so that way my joints can warm up, muscles can warm up, and then I can start my actual weight next time around. Whew. I don't really do barbell squats like that, so I'm not really competing. Feel me? I'm not really competing. So, because I'm not competing like that, right? I use other machines that has a squat motion, but I get to focus more on, just building the legs, overall strength, and target every muscle, singularly. That's the word I was looking for. The reason why I had my butt elevated above the seat is so that my glute medius can work more efficiently as a stabilizer. All right, so I forgot to actually put my actual weight on it. So on top of me squatting 254, which is my weight, right? I'm gonna put an extra. I put extra 135. I've done more. I'll probably do 175. But that's pretty much where I'm at. Set your feet right at the width of the platform. Toes pointing at about 22 degrees, or like your normal stance. And then you just drive off the heels. Yep. Let me bring my feet in a little bit more, roll my heels in. Just drive off the heels. After an exercise like this, some cases I might or I might not hit leg extensions, just because this is already extending my knee. You know what I'm saying? So I wanna do another exercise that focuses on another range of motion. Perhaps I can do hip abductions, I can do hip extensions, hip thrusts, those type of things that necessarily, yes, I'm extending my knee to an extent, but it's not really a push for my quads. Some people may ask, after this workout, do I also do split squats? No, this is a type of squat. So if I do this as a squat, I'll probably do an extension, a curl, do a hip thrust and a calf press. 5 exercises. All right, y'all. So right now, I'm hitting single leg extensions and hamstring curls. So one of the reasons why I really like doing these movements one leg at a time is because it helps expose muscular imbalances. Now, a lot of people don't realize one leg is usually stronger or more dominant than the other, and over time that can affect your strength, mobility, and even increase injury risk. So by me training each leg individually, I'm forcing both sides to work equally without compensation. Now, side note, if you hear my son in the background, he's in my lap. He's not feeling well. He had some vaccines, so he's really cranky. But anyways, so for one single leg extension, I'm focusing on controlled reps, right? So exploding in the concentric motion and slowly relaxing in the eccentric motion. So with the single leg curls, I'm targeting the hamstrings to improve my athletic performance, especially knowing that I want to be prepared for when my son starts being real active, right? Another benefit to this is that you get to build a better mind-muscle connection, and you can really just slow down and just focus and feel the muscle working together rather than just moving weight. I tell my clients this all the time. You have to have situational awareness. Don't just move the weight. Pay attention to your technique, and you'll be a lot better after this. So at this time, I've already been in the gym for, let's say, probably over an hour at this time. My wife was already asking me, like, hey, when you coming home? So when she started texting me, I already know, okay, it's probably my time to get home so that way I can be a present father and a husband. So I told myself, you know what? Let me just go ahead and knock the rest of this leg workout out so that way I can go home. And oftentimes you may not be able to do all your workouts, and that's perfectly fine. You just have to do what you can, be consistent throughout the week, and then get after it the next day. You feel me? Even if you feel like you didn't get to finish your workout or finish what you originally planned to do, it's okay. Alright? It's okay. You just pick up where you left off the next day. You know what I'm saying? All right. So here you have a simple calf press machine. All right. Everyone is using the leg press, so that's gonna get a job done anyway. I like to do it on the leg press because I could put on more weight, but this does the trick. Not really hung up about it. It does it. I'm gonna start at 210. I'm gonna go all the way up to 310. There we go. Perfect. So for an exercise like this, you want to focus on time worn tension, right? When you're in a concentric motion, which is when your calf is contracting, right? You want to pause for a second, slowly come back, right? Especially for those who got flat feet or a lot of ankle issues, like myself, right? What I typically recommend is focus a lot more on time on the tension, building stabilization in your ankle joint. Right? That way, if you're playing sports or you do any type of recreational sports, right, your ankles are not prone to injury in that sort. Let's see how 310s feel. If I do 310, probably not gonna do it for 10 reps. I did 210 for 12. So let's do it. Yeah, nah. I mean, I could do it. The thing is that I'm not as close. You know what I'm saying? I'm not as close as I usually am. So, yeah. Like, I could do it, but am I getting much range of motion? No. So what would I do in this case, right? I'll go back down. I'll probably go anywhere, any number between 210 and 310. Probably go back down to like 270 if I wanted to. But where I had the most range of motion was at 210, right? And on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being extremely heavy, 1 being extremely light, the 210 felt like a 6, right? But I was efficient with each range of motion, right? So that's perfectly fine with me. And an equipment like this here, it's so easy to get this confused with leg press where you're pushing with your knees, right? Try not to push with your knees at all, right? Try not to push with your knees. Keep your knees slightly bent. Don't lock them. Keep them slightly bent here, and then focus on pointing your toes out, okay? Point the toes out. Boom. So I'm not gonna do chest today because I'm pressed on time. So it's all good though. Don't beat yourself up. But let's stretch though. One of the things that I like to do hip flexor stretch, right? Because did squats, I use my hip flexors, right? So that's an area where you definitely want to stretch, especially for those who spend their time sitting down for most of the day, right? So you definitely want to stretch hip flexors. What I like to do after legs too is after the hip flexor stretch, I'll just drop this leg down and do a pigeon. Right? Now, many people may not be as flexible as I am, right? You don't have to, right? You can do a figure 4 stretch as a alternative. See what I'm saying? But I like the pigeon stretch because it really gets in those like deep areas, and especially if I'm like leaning. The more I lean forward, the more I feel it in my glute medius. Switch legs. Same thing. Drop. Another thing that I like to do is get to those ankles, right? Stretch them out. Like one thing for me over the years that, since I've gotten out of the military and I stopped playing sports and stuff like that, it was like my mobility went downhill. So what I have to do is to continuously stretch because, I'm not utilizing those muscles as often as I used to do when I was playing rugby and I was in the military. I feel the stiffness right here. And that stiffness came from when I had a stress fracture in both my ankles, and I couldn't walk functionally for a year and a half. So I'm saying, man, it was bad. It hurt to run. You know, if COVID didn't happen, my legs would have been a lot worse. So, doing calf stretch here. Really driving my heels into the ground and pulling my body away from my heel. That way my calf can get that stretch. This completes today's video. Make sure that you like and subscribe if you want to see more content, more muscle groups you want to see me train on. And then if you want coaching and want some support, if you're struggling in your walk with being healthy, all right, go ahead, schedule a call with me, all right, and my team, and we'll get you set up. All right, peace.